in the month of March, I guess it was this year, I think I have the month right, I was in Jerusalem as part of a peace mission with various Christian leaders to meet with the Israeli leaders, with the Palestinian leaders, and all of them. And the last day we were meeting with one of the founders of Hamas, Sheikh Talal. He had been imprisoned for 18 years because of his militancy. My colleague who's here with me tonight in the audience, Nate and I, we were together in this dining room. And as we sat there, I said, Sheikh Talal, I have a question for you before we go. What do you think of suicide bombers and suicide bombing? He started off by saying, I'm against all innocents being killed, and on and on and on. And then he said, but every person has a right to defend himself or herself. And by the time he finished his answer, what he'd given with one hand, he'd taken back with the other. I said, Sheikh Talal, I want to say something to you as kindly, sir, as I can. You are a Muslim, I'm a Christian. We have a completely different faith. But there's one story we both read in the Old Testament that we have accepted. How Abraham took his son up a mountain to offer as a sacrifice. Do you remember that? He said, yes. I said, you believe it was Ishmael? We believe it was Isaac. It doesn't matter at this point. He took his son to the top of the mountain. And the son wanted to know from his father where this sacrifice was. And the father said, God himself is going to provide. And he took his son and bound him. And as that blade is ready to fall, God stops that hand and tells him to hold it, because he himself was going to provide. And Sheikh Talal nodded his head. I said, Sheikh, not far away from here that happened. He nodded. I said, not far away from here, there are suicide bombers and men and women being killed. I want to say something to you, sir. Until we receive the son that God has provided, we will be offering our own sons in the battlefields of this land and others. I said, can I tell you why? Because when they wrong you, you want to wrong them. Boomerang. A wrongs B, B wrongs A wrongs B, B wrongs A. It goes on and on. I said, I want to tell you something about the cross of Jesus Christ. When insolence was hurled on him, when indifference was hurled on him, when irreverence was hurled on him, when ignorance was hurled on him, sin didn't bounce back. Sin stopped. As he said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. That's why the songwriter says, I sometimes think about the cross and close my eyes and try to see the cruel nails and crown of thorns, and Jesus crucified for me. But even could I see him die, I would but see a little part of that great love which like a fire was always burning in his heart. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have seen your own heart, I'm asking you today, have you seen what the cross has provided?